Rightio, guys, welcome back. Season 2, episode 13. We got the Magic Man, Black Magic, Ronald Simpson. Say good day to the viewers, brother, and give us a little bit of a background, who you are, where you're from.
Hey guys, I'm Ronald Simpson, known as AKA Black Magic, Bray Boy, through and through, 2839.
Talk to us a little bit about some of your interests growing up, Ron, because obviously, a lot of people play footy and basketball, netball, whatever it is, but you can't sort of do that as a jockey growing up. So what were some of your interests growing up, and what sort of sports did you play growing up, Ron?
Well, we all us Koori boys back home, that's all we did play. That's all we was mad on, his league. There was no picture of being a jockey. It was just all about footy.
What about other things other than the footy? Let them in on a little bit of what sort of you've done as young fellas growing up in Bree, other than the footy, pig chase and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, hunting, mainly all hunting and that. Just all that other fun stuff with the boys. I didn't go seek and just touch footy, always touch footy, tackle footy in the park. That was just
when you played hide and go seek.
A kid growing up.
When you played hide and go seek, who was the frightened out of all the boys? Who was the scaredest out of all the boys coming up?
Oh no. Oh, that was all right actually. That was all right.
School and Ron, obviously, you've done a lot of your primary school, and then you found your way down to Kirinari, which a lot of the young brothers from out west do. Come down for better opportunities, I suppose. Exposed to all the opportunities that are down here, as opposed to what we got out home. Obviously, in terms of employment opportunities after school, and that there's not a lot out there. Obviously, with a little town like home, 1,000, 1,200 people. So, talk to us a little bit about your experience moving away, and your schooling experience as a whole.
Yeah, so I went to school, Brewarrina Essential, to about year 6, and my mum, Limson, she wanted me to get a better, move out of Bree because there was no opportunities in Bree at the time, and probably still now, you know what I mean, just died out over the years. But yeah, that was the plan, to move away and look bigger for the future. And yeah, so I got into Kirinari Hostel. I think you went to it, didn't you?
Yeah, I went.
Yeah, and I went. Other boys, all different brothers from all different towns, and yeah.
How hard was it for you as a young fella to move away? Give the people a bit of a perspective as well, for young brothers who got to make sacrifices at a young age like that, and the young girls as well that move away and go to Kirinari in Sydney or whatever. But how hard is the transition moving from little country town to the city, and then talk about what it's sort of done for you later on in life now?
Yeah, it's a big difference, but I'm glad I moved to Newcastle. There's a lot of Bree family down there, you know what I mean? So I had to see a lot of Bree boys and a lot of the Bree family, like the Weverells and like yourself and all them. So it was pretty easy for me, in sense of me moving to a bigger city. That was all. But I'm glad I sort of had that family, Brewarrina family, living in that area, because it didn't make me sort of homesick at the time. So it was a good thing for me. It was different for me, but like other boys coming from I had mates coming from Wilcannia, like the Wymans and the Wards, like Victor and all them boys, they didn't really, they probably didn't have anyone, family based in Newcastle. So Yeah, mine's was a bit different because I had that sort of, family, Brewana family down in Newcastle, so it was good.
And now has it sort of helped you out now as you're transitioning into the jockey world as well, Ron? Because you've been away a fair bit as well, and we'll get to that a bit later on. But you're not lucky enough to be stationed at home and do all the stuff as a jockey at home. You've been away, so how has that helped you being away as a young fella? Um, to now as
Yeah,
a man as well.
yeah, it makes you very independent, eh? Like from a young age, like actually doing that from a young age, moving away from your family. It makes you stronger. I reckon it does because, like, you build up, you make yourself a good independent person. You know what I mean? So that's the best thing about it. Just sort of for the future when you do grow and you do want to move out, or you're not homesick. You know what I mean? From like a young age,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it's good.
What about the opportunity? Where did it come from to be a jockey? Because when you're in Newcastle, did you play a bit of footy as well? Because
Yeah, I played a little bit of footy. I played for the Butcher Boys. I was a Central boy, so a couple of other cousins and that played for West and a bit everyone else. And yeah, but I was a Butcher Boy, so yeah, all us Kirinari boys was like pretty much Butcher Boys. So
yeah.
yeah, it was good.
So
But yeah,
when and where did that opportunity come, Ron? Like to be a jockey? Did you move home
well,
after year 12, or did you move home a little bit earlier and an opportunity come up? How did it come about?
no, I moved 2.5 years in Newcastle. My mum moved out of Bree. She moved to Dubbo at the time, and I think I was staying. That's when I moved out of the Kirinari hostel, and I was staying with the Weveralls, staying there with them, and they took me in and not treated me like family. So, and then yeah, mum moved to Dubbo, and that's when I moved from Newcastle to Dubbo. Then I didn't want to move back to Bree, so I'm glad she moved to Dubbo. So yeah, that's when I moved to Dubbo, and the plan was like she wanted me to go to school here. I was like, nah, I can't go to school here. So she said, you can't bloody else lay around my house. So we'll have to take. She took me out to the race course, and that's when it all began. I think I
Yeah,
was
right.
what, yeah, 14, 9 months. I think, yeah, just before 15,
So did she just
just
ask
before
around,
15,
Ron, or
and
just let you get around the stables, or did they
yeah,
chuck you straight on a horse and do a bit of track work? How did it all work?
no, because I went out there just looking for a trainer and all this, and I met a bloke. He does the apprentice people at the time. But like it was just fitting perfect. I went out there. I seen him on the day, and he said, "I know a bloke that'll take you on." It's like, yeah, righto. I didn't know nothing about like this apprentice and being a jockey and all this stuff. Like I fell in love with horses. I was in love with horses, so I just had to, yeah, I was happy just to do work with horses, not about jockeying or track work riders or all this other, just a racing game. I didn't know nothing about it. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was just going to get work, and that's get a wage for myself, and you know, instead of me laying around the house and yeah, being a
mum
nobody.
cracking the whip.
So that's what, yeah, I'm glad she did, but
Yeah. So how long, and what sort of jobs did you do early on, Ron, before you got into being a jockey? Talk to us a little bit about that.
oh,
Who,
just
who took the
groundwork. I
punt on
done
you, Ron, as well?
a fellow named Justin Stanley. Yeah, he was only just him, was 20 odd in work. So yeah, it was only him and his girlfriend and young fella there working at the time. So yeah, I was only still young, so just before I was 15. So I was still near green, and yeah, I started off when I first walked in there. Done he said come back in the afternoon. Went back there in the afternoon, and he said, "You can, what boxes was there?" I didn't even know what he was talking about. What boxes? it was spin out, but then like, and then he said, "No, you got to do all these, see all these boxes in this, like the stables." And I was like, "Yeah, right." He said, "Muck all these out, clean them all out." So I started. That's what all apprentices do, you know. You start from the bottom and just build your way up. And I started doing that every day for like maybe about 3 weeks to a month. And then like after I'd done boxes every morning, he started put me on like an older racehorse in the round yard, and that's when I started learning how to ride in the pad and that. So it's a totally old different ball game when yeah, you can ride horses. Everyone can ride a horse if you know, if you fell in love with horses and you know how to ride horses. But race horses are just a totally different ball game. Like it's crazy.
How long until they put you on, Ron? Like, what's the transition like? How long until they sort of feel like you're safe? They feel you're safe enough to sort of even jump on a horse and track
Oh,
looking at, eh?
just yeah, just every day after like every day doing it, and then like he once he knew I was ready, like stronger, had balance, because it's totally different. You're not some you used to just riding bareback or in a stock saddle back
Mm.
home, but totally different pad. You got to stand up, get over the neck, and just it was all different. So, but he threw me in the deep end. I learned it, and then it didn't take me long. After from one step into the round yard, and yeah, once I straightened up and standing, I started as at a little track down the back of Dubbo. So it's pretty quiet around, pretty quiet, so not anyone goes down there. Yeah, I just learned around the track. It's more me getting my balance and just getting my strength up. The older racehorse.
And is that with the bloke that took you on, like Justin Stanley? Because was he a jockey as well, Ron?
Yeah, he was a jockey. Yeah, he was a jockey, and yeah, decided to go training. So yeah.
Yeah. What about take us through the routine of a typical day in the life of a jockey? When do you rise? When do you do
Oh,
track work? Like when you
yeah.
when you
Well,
got a meeting that day as well, Ron. Like what does a day like hold?
it's pretty much crazy. Yeah, like you're pretty much doing it 7 days a week. Barbo's off during the week, and then maybe second weekend out, and especially out in the country, like you're always racing on the weekends, so you sort of don't really get a time. You're race riding, and then so you're pretty much in and day out, just busy. It's just crazy, like. But you got to have a lot of work ethic, and yeah, you got to be very mentally strong, to be in the industry, because you got to look after your weight, and you got to just all these other little things. Just you got to speak precisely. So yeah.
With that's what next question. Talking about next question, I was going to ask you about the sacrifices you have to make to be successful, and I said diet especially, but lifestyle as well, because like you, like any young fella, you loved a little bit of party with the brothers as well, but you talked a little bit about that then. It's 7 days a week. So talk to us about what you might have to eat during the days. Do you have to watch it every day, Ron, or do you taper off the days that you're riding in
Oh,
meetings? Or
yeah. There's a couple of days you can have cheats and that. Like you can still eat whatever you really want, but like yeah, just if you're naturally lightweight, But like me, I'm a tall guy, a bit of weight on, so um, just before the races, maybe 2 to 3 days out before the races, you sort of work it out, cut down to your weight, and like, but it's crazy because some days you can go to the races all day without not eating a thing, and just pretty much on your ability, and like the strength you get from that is just incredible, because like you go out to do a job with empty stomach, like you're not, and you're weak. It's just like it's more of a mentality sort of situation.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
But it's crazy.
Talk to us a little about apprentice jockeys, right? Explain to us, and we love a punt, but we still don't know what the process is. We know you got to ride so many winners to outride your claim, Ron, but do you start at like a 3 or a 4 kilo?
So you start with a 4. So 4 goes down. You ride 5. It goes down to 3, and then 3 up to 20, and it'll go down to 2, and then 2 from you ride 50 winners, and it'll go down to 1.5. So, but you got 3 different claims. So you got your country claim, and you got your provincial claim, and you got your metro claim. So three different claims.
So if you rode in the country, for example, Ron, and at the moment you're at 2A, is that
Yeah,
right?
I just got on Sunday. I just got down to 1.5. So yeah, it's good.
So would that mean if you're riding in the country, get 1.5? Does that mean when you're riding at provincials and metro, you get 1.5 as well, or do you get more?
No, it's a different step up. See, it's like pretty much 3 stages.
Yeah,
So country, you go through your country claim, but if you're riding at provincial, you'll start off with another 3 kilos.
yeah, okay.
So how many? It's all different things. So your country, you got your provincial, and you got your metro area.
Yeah, okay. So you got to ride
So
to that many winners in each. So you know you rode
yeah, to
your
get it
claim at
down,
country, but you still got to do it at provincial and metro.
you got to do it. Yeah, you got to do it at provincial and metro.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you got to ride more, whatever that is. So 80 winners to outride your claim in each provincial, in each areas.
Yeah, right. Talk to us a little bit about as an apprentice jockey, Ron. Do you get a wage from your master? Is that what you call them too? Like the fellas that take you on, Ron? Your head trainers that you
Yeah, the
live with and
bosses.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
the bosses.
um, you can sort of live with your boss if you're around, like if you moved away from your parents and that, and you're underage. You know what I mean? Like they'll
Yeah.
take you in and all that and look after you. But yeah, they still pay you a wage. At now, I'm on an apprentice wage,
Hmm.
and but like when I'm going race riding, that's a totally different. I get percentage off my race rides. I earn off my race
Oh, so
rides,
you
and
can.
yeah, but I still get paid off
Yeah.
2 different
Yeah. Okay.
payments.
Because I thought when you were an apprentice jockey, Ron,
Yeah, so
they put a money in a trust or something for you and don't give you your winnings, you know?
yeah, I do when you say if you so started off, say if you're 17, they put a trust fund for you up
Mm.
to 21. So after 21, you're allowed to touch. They give you your money, or you're allowed to touch your
Yeah.
money
Okay.
after. So, but yeah, pretty much that's how it sort of goes when you're young. But yeah, after 21, yeah, they give it all to you.
So the last few weeks you'll be eating lobsters and that, eh?
No losses in Dubbo, cuz.
um, what about give us an insight into how you're booking rides as well? Like who gets onto you to book rides? I know that you've been picked up now by an agency, but before
Yeah.
that, how do you rely on getting rides, Ron?
Before I did have another manager, but yeah, he went back to being the steward. So they run pretty much the racing.
Yeah,
So I had to get another agent. But yeah, we picked up another agent easy. Talked through my older manager, asked him what was the best, or who can I like go with, and then yeah, I had a yarn with the boss, and asked him if this guy would be the go, like suit me the best, and he was happy with us.
yeah,
So yeah, we made it. Just he's like pretty much my old manager, to be honest. He just running things smoothly for me, so it's good.
How far in advance do you know your book? I suppose.
Or it'll probably give me a week.
Yeah. Okay.
In the country, see, so the boss has got, so we just run off the boss, whatever rides we got for the boss.
He gets
Say if
first
we
crack.
got, maybe the boss want me on, he gets first crack, I got to ride under the mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's
Yeah.
got 3 or 4 and it's 8 races, all right. Yeah, we'll say the boss has got 4. The manager's only got to chase up another 4 rides for that day, for that meeting. So yeah, as long as we just play it by ear, we just go with the flow with the boss out in the country at the moment. So it's
Yeah.
good.
What about travel? Like to and from meetings, is there a crew? Do you go with the boss, or is it like half a dozen of your jockeys sort of
Yeah,
travel together?
pretty much. The boss has got horses going everywhere around the country, so I just sort of jump in. Sometimes I jump in the float, the truck, or with him,
Yeah.
or with another jockey, one of the jockeys out in Dubbo here, based in Dubbo. So yeah, because I don't have a license, a bit too lazy to get a license. So
You need to get it because you'll be driving around in a Lamborghini there in a few
oh,
years.
100%.
Talk to us a little bit about the experience, Ron, being in Sydney with Les Bridge. Obviously, Les Bridge, old fella who had Classic Legend, who won the Everest, won a couple of Group 1s.
Yeah,
Obviously,
one
big,
Everest.
um, well-known horse. Is that the best horse you've been on, Ron? Talk to us about some of the best horses you've been on.
Yeah, he's one of the best I've been on. Yeah, can't go past him. So, and yeah, a good experience. How it all started when I first started my apprenticeship with Justin. I was race riding. I had a bad fall in Coonabarabran one day. Yeah, I pulled on my hamstring on my left side. Well, my foot got caught 9, and then just whole hamstring. So, um, at the time, but I had bad. It's called bad uh, fasciitis in your feet, in your arch, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got fat feet. Yeah. So I had that, and I just couldn't go to work. Like I was just struggling to get up every morning. Like when I was living with mum, she had to like wake me up extra hour or 2 hours early. She'll put the bath on and just sit me so I can soak in the bath and just get get the blood flow back into my feet, so I can go to work. And it was just when you're riding and that, all your balances are like in your feet.
Mm.
That's where you get all your balance. And so it's just killing me. So I had the time off, had a gap years pretty much. Went back home to breed, run a muck, caught up with
Mm.
family again. And the boots after I had a couple months off. Got good again. My feet got good again. I put on the boots again at a gas. But yeah, it was all fun, and that's when I decided to go back. I had a little mate already down in Sydney, Chrissy Williams. So I'm very close with him. So I went down to Sydney and went to the Big Smoke, and yeah, it was a good experience. With a legend trainer, Hall of Famer. So,
Mm.
and that's first time he had Classic Legend in the stables. He didn't even have a race then when I was there. So like he just so pretty much early on his career I was there, and yeah, it's incredible. Also, he's just crazy.
How do you know the good ones, Ron? Like, how do you know? Talk to us a little bit about people who like never. I've never been on a horse since I was a kid, so and obviously, like you said, it's different to race horses. But how do you know the good ones, brother? And um, yeah, I guess talk to us about a little bit about the people that you're around down there, like because when you're down there, you're with all the guns, all the Group 1 jockeys, and that too. Talk to us about the
Yeah,
connection you had with fellas like James McDonald and Karen McAvoy and them.
yeah. So with horses, it's pretty much with you seeing the talent fully pay, you know what I mean? Like build and look how quick he is and how good with his hands, and it's just similar with a, you get a feeling and you're thinking, wow, like what does this bloke got underneath? How much like powerful and like the speed they got. Sometimes young horses from a 2-year-old like their ability, and then sometimes like they could be a couple of preps away or a couple of years down the track they might show it. Just all depends, but like most of them all show it from a young age. Coming through, they're doing their preps and that to be a racehorse, but yeah, just sort of how they move, good actions, like yeah, just how they move and how fast they pick up. You know what I mean? It's just that's you think, oh, how good's this horse? Like he'd be a nice horse, and that you get just off feeling. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have just off feeling, and yeah, if you're doing time easy, and thinking, wow, yeah, we got something here. How you sort of work off it,
Yeah.
but yeah, good to be in Sydney. Like when I did come home after done a year in Sydney. Come home, I got a bit homesick. I was just got in that probably at that time I was 19. Looking to go out and party and doing all this other stuff. Yeah, just pretty much caught up with me, and it just hit me. So I just moved home, and that's when I sort of just riding track work a bit, and then yeah, sort of processed back short. Picked up another trainer down over Golgong, Brett Thompson, his name. I went over there, so and I got a kick along again. Started race riding again. That's when I pretty much started from 2007. Much started 2018. So then I'll come back 2020 pretty much. Race ride. I didn't start my apprenticeship down. I was just doing pretty much track work down Randwick, and yeah, I was signed up, but I wasn't really into it like that. Yeah, Brett kicked me off, got me going. I was going well, and just sort of I got back in that habit where I was going good. Thinking I need to party and do all this other stuff, and that's when it all went downhill again. Most of you probably all know. I got caught with drugs in my system, and that's when it all went rock hard bottom. That's when I packed up, moved home to Bree. Pretty much had 2 years, close to 2 years out there, and then yeah, and that's when the older brother going on 2 years there yesterday, I think it was. So yeah, he committed suicide, and most of them all probably know Dave. So David Simpson, my older brother. So yeah, like the way I think of it, I know it's probably sad way to think about it, but like if he didn't do that, I'll probably be still in breed, doing the wrong things, the negative things, and probably not thinking about, but in a good way, sort of glad he did do it, because it made me think, life's too short. I got to get back on track and set myself up for the future. And that's when I moved back down to Les. Chrissy was still down there in 2000, last year, 2022. Moved back down there. Got everything at what I had to do, counselling and all that, just to get my license back. So I'd done all that, put all the hard yards in to get me back race riding, and it took me like pretty much 4 months to like do all the process and that to get me back through it. And yeah, I started race riding for Les down the provincial. I was out just started provincial area like Newcastle, all these areas. I got sent back out to Dubbo, right in the country areas for a little bit, and then yeah, I started. That's when I started coming good mates with Kieran McAvoy. He was teaching me a lot. I was, started coming good mates because he already had a good bond with Mr. Bridge, Les. And that's when, I started. Me and Chris, he was pretty much going over there and, going just pretty much working on our styles and all this and that. But yeah, great mate now. Kieran, if I need to message him or, he'll help me out. Or if ask him to watch a video or replay, to see what I done wrong or what I could do right in
Yeah.
one of the best you can have. And humble guy for a man that had so much success in his career. He's that humble. Like you wouldn't even think he's a 3-time Melbourne Cup winner, 2-time, 3-time Everest winner. Like just crazy.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that support behind you. That's a good.
Talk to us about the differences between the Big Smoke, Sydney, and being at those sort of stables there with all them top line, jockeys, and then all the big name trainers as well, as opposed to being out on your own, sort of out there with the bush trainers and the bush jockeys. What's the biggest difference you've found? Has it helped you because it's a lot more laid back, or would you
Yeah,
rather?
well, it's 24/7 down Sydney. It's
Yeah,
just traffic. Just traffic every day. Plenty of horses going to trials. You trialing, going to the races. Like it's pretty much non-stop down Sydney. Like it's just, but that's if you want to be a good jockey and you want to be a successful jockey, like that's the place you want to be. Like in the future, but like yeah, it's just. But coming back to Dubbo, it's still busy out here, but it's more relaxed, more time. You get a better sleep in. You don't have to start work at 4 a.m. That's the best thing about it. Yeah, just sort of, it's pretty much the same routine, but you sort of the same routine. You're always busy out here. It's non-stop out here too in the country, but you sort of, in the environment, you know what I mean? Like you're more relaxed. In the city life is just full of lights, full of people, just traffic everywhere. Like it's just crazy. But out here, you get a bit of peace and quiet. So that's what I like about.
yeah. What about? I'm just looking at some of the questions and that any of the questions from the mob. So if you got any questions, send them through and we can ask Ron as well. Your old mum's on here. Obviously, she's proud of you. Chris Bob says, "Keep up the good work, little brother. Proud of you." Yeah, a couple of the brothers there telling you you're the man. But let's go back a step, Ron, because I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Because I feel like you went into a little bit of a dark place yourself before you made your way back home again. Did that? I talked to you a little bit maybe earlier this year or late last year around the transition, and you thought you were going to go to Chris Muntz in Queensland, and then that didn't come about.
Yeah.
Was there a bit of a lull for you? Like, was there a time where you thought like maybe this is not for me, it's not working out? Did you think of giving up? Did you always come back to the
Mm,
experience that Davo went through as well? And talk to us a little bit about how that helped you, not just you but the family as well, because you're big advocates now as well. You put memorial sides in for Brother Davo at the little knockouts and that out at Garuga and Collie and Walgett. Um, and you do a lot around the mental health space. You, mum, brothers. Um, did that help you when you're in those bad times, Ron?
yeah, 100%. But even when that happened, like unfortunately I couldn't go up to Queensland. Like it didn't go to plan. But I was straight away, I didn't think about going home or didn't think about doing all these other things. Like I didn't, because I was pretty much in this next plan B, like what I got to do next, who do I get? I need to just get back race riding and keep my head, keep me busy. You know what I mean? That was the plan. I never thought of that, getting back in that dark place.
Mm.
Because at the time, happened situation, I was in a dark place, to be honest, and just thinking, just them lonely nights in bed, and just on your own, what to do and that. And then I started getting better. Started training while I was working, so I was working in the sheds, and I just started training every hour, every morning when I wasn't training, and just to get my like mental health pretty much back, being having a bit of strength about me, and not think about the downfall. I was pretty much thinking about the, going up. So that was I had to start from little, and that's when I started. And that strengthened me ever since then. I've been good, like I don't see or don't get in a dark place at all. Like just make sure my mind's clear every time. And yeah, but
What
with the
what sort of
counselling,
advice what sort of advice, based on a lot of the stuff that you and the boys and mum have done with the mental health space since losing Davo, what sort of advice would you have for young fellas, especially, but anyone, like it doesn't discriminate. It can attack anyone, no matter what age.
yeah.
Um, Based on how you've dealt with it now, you've come out the other side and you're so positive now. What advice can you give for people that might be facing the tough times, brother, as well?
Just gotta talk. Don't matter who it is. If someone close or a good friend, just gotta talk through 'em, talk through it. They always listen, especially your best friends or your family, like your mum or someone. If you talk through it, and make you feel good about yourself, or and you clear that mind, you clear your mind. It'll go away. But you just got to stay busy. Go out and do something. What you like, doesn't matter what it is. Just keep your mind off it. Get yourself in a good, clear space. Bit of independent on your own, but go and do. Just it's pretty much just a fresh start. That's all you got to think about. Like just eventually it'll go away. Like that's that's all I got to say. Like you probably just need to just someone that's close around you, talk to, have a yarn, and talk to your mates, and it's eventually it will go away. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's all I got.
You're flying now, Ron. You rode, what, 3 trebles in the last week, 2 weeks? Talk to us a little about your
Yeah,
recent success and what's changed for you in your life. Why you going so well now, brother?
um, just going to work like with a great boss, great team behind him. It's good environment, like the London racing is just it's a good place to be. I'm happy back in the country. Got a lot of freedom. Just in Bree, they travel down once in the blue moon. They come in and see me. Just it's more connecting. Just want to make success. I just want to build up for the future. Buy a house. And for the long run, that's it. That's all I'm focused on, is focused on from the future, and just being consistent. Going the races. Don't matter if it's a non-tab. Doesn't matter if you got 2 or 3 rides somewhere, just as long as you keep, process of doing it. Yeah, that's all. Not changing anything. Going a day, going to work every day. And yeah, just showing up.
Yeah, nice. I just want to have a look. Like we're talking a little bit about your recent success, Ron. Um, let's have a look at it. Obviously, but last you rode 3 at Golgong. Was that a tab meeting? Non-tab meeting?
No, it's not. Yeah, non-tab. Yeah, non-tab.
So I don't know how clearly people can see that. I think I might have to try and blow that up. I'm not real good with the technology, as everyone knows. But yeah, I feel like so your win percentage rate, Ron, is about 13%. I can't. Yeah, I can't sort of get that to where I need to be. So I wish I was a lot better with this with the technology, guys. But yeah, I've got no idea. I wanted to, but I've been obviously having a look at some of the stuff you've been doing, Ron.
Yep.
And I know you rode a couple of trebles, couple of doubles recently. What I want to ask you, Ron, is has life changed dramatically since you had sort of those few good meetings? Like
Nah, still the same. Still,
but in terms of, you talked about picking up maybe 2, 3 rides a meeting. Do you feel like now that you're having a little bit of success that there's more trainers sort of reaching out to you, and putting you on a lot more? Do you find like your books are a bit more full now as opposed to 2 and 3 and maybe 4 every now and then? Has there been a lot more?
it's amazing. It's amazing what winners can do. Like it can change. Like the boss is like trainers calling him up. They want you and this and that. Like one trainer called him up the other night or something. I'm booked for Dubbo, and Dubbo is a week and a half away. Like it's just crazy. But yeah, once you ride winners and that, like trainers, because in this racing industry, everyone's watching. Everyone, like trainers to owners, and that's how you sort of build your connection riding winners. And yeah, it's a little bit changed now, but yeah, I'm happy just to go around, ride forever, wherever the manager's got for me or the boss. But yeah, it's a little bit changed for me, but yeah, that's just how racing goes.
Yeah. What about talk to us a little bit about the movie role? Obviously, you got picked to play Darby McCarthy, a legendary Aboriginal jockey. When can we expect that to roll out in cinemas or on film, Ron? Or did I read that you're still trying to get a bit of funding to finish the film?
Yes, once they still get a bit of funding to finish the film, I'll go ahead of doing it again. But yeah, it won't be long until it will come out. Just the funding wise, once that it's all finalised and we can get stuck into it, because it's a good tribute for him and his family. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's a good publicity for myself and for my family and where I come from. So that's the good thing about it. But yeah, I just like that's all I want to do it for is pretty much publicity for myself and my family, and put my little Braytown on the map.
Talk to us a little bit. Give us a little bit of information that we might not know about Darby McCarthy.
So Darby McCarthy's, he's that ever did it. He's a bush boy from Colomulla, so I don't know what side. He might be a New South Wales boy. He might be a Queensland boy. I don't know. I think he's a Queensland boy. But yeah, Darby's from Colomulla. So he pretty much done his apprenticeship time up. He moved up from Colomulla to Doomben Eagle Farm up there. So pretty much in Brisbane, and yeah, done his time up there. Rode the Doom and 10,000, the Stradbroke. That race is pretty much the Queensland Carnival just went by or still going, I think. The Stradbroke was on the weekend, so like it's a big race. I think it's two group ones. He went down to Sydney. I think he rode a couple of group ones down in Sydney at Randwick. And then move on overseas to France. He was riding in France, so incredible rider. Done everything for his family, and put his little town on the map. I wish I can go past him, but he's too good.
Just gotta say, what about? Can you give us any little some of the stuff that you had to do with the acting? Did you have to meet with the family and learn certain traits, how to walk or how to talk like him, or different things?
It hasn't really sort of started off. Hasn't really sort of. I went up to last year. I went up to Toowoomba. That pretty much a Toowoomba meeting for him. I went up there. Met all his family. Met to him, his friends and everything like that. So that was great. Met two young boys that was playing the role. I think they're still going to play the role. A younger version of Darby, and I think I was the middle stage Darby, and as another young fella. Pretty much growing up, and there's another old Aboriginal jockey up in Queensland.
What, Appa?
Old Dappo, Appo, Appo. So he was playing the older stage. So it was real good to meet the Appo family, meet Darby's family. It was good to mix in with them, and we had a good time.
What about talk to us a little bit about some of your goals for the future? Obviously you're riding in the bush. What are some of your goals? Do you want to get back to the city? Do you want to go to Melbourne? Do you want to go to Brizzy? Obviously Group 1s are the pinnacle.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm at the stage now where I'm happy to be in the country, make as a good earning out here, make a good living. My plan is not ride for long. Just enough to get in, save as much money as I can while I'm still young. But my dream is to buy a property back home and run cattle. That's my dream. Live on the land, live back home on the land, and run cattle the rest of my life. That's the dream. But at this stage, just saving up for buy my first home in Dubbo. Hopefully, I'm going good now at the moment. I just saying to someone this morning. I said, I was thinking about saving up for end of next year, but I'm going too good at this stage. So I was thinking I might buy one at the end of the year. So it's good.
What about Pop Ted? When we always, watch you, riding them home, and we always think about, anyone we sort of talk about when we're talking about you, we always think about your old Pop, Uncle Teddy guy. He would have been loading up as well. Obviously a massive racing fan himself, but how do you reckon he would have enjoyed the experience of watching his grandson go around?
He's got me up for sure. He wouldn't have even left the race course. Every race course, I think, he would have been my number one supporter, I reckon, because he's a mad punter. I don't think he would have been the mayor of Bray. He would have retired from there and come and watch me. It would have been my chauffeur.
He would have drove you to every meeting, eh?
He would have driven me every meeting. Yeah, he loved the pun, eh?
Yeah.
Even when I was young,
yeah,
100%. But even when I was young, I used to sit out front of when the middle at the pub there in Bray. They had a tab there, and I used to sit at the side and watch him punt and do all, with our old uncles and that. he used to punt, and then when he was finished or when he was winning up, he used to come give me cash and that. And then, yeah, that's when I used to just take off then, go to the shops and that. But yeah, it was good.
Uh, who's been your biggest inspiration, Ron, to put you where you feel like you are now?
I think my older brother, to be honest, like he's probably the one that's why I'm really doing it now because of him
Yeah,
and the things what he done in his past, the negative things in that, and how he overcome that. Like I think he's probably one of the ones that played a big role in my career now and what I'm doing, like for myself, and for my little family in the future.
and he was always so proud of you too, eh?
He was
Every
always so
time you
proud
go,
of me.
always
Yeah,
watching, and he put videos up and everything on Facebook, and tell people
yeah,
when you're riding.
yeah. So yeah, he's probably one of the fathers that inspired me, and like now at this stage, inspired me to do better and
Yeah,
go out there and give it all, and set yourself up for life.
and live your life too, Ron. Eh? Like you said, like it was
100%.
cut short from Brother Davo, but all of those lessons that you're obviously learning from, and bless God bless his little family that he left behind too. But do you keep in contact with a lot of them, Ron, the little ones?
Yeah, some of them live here, so it's good. I'll go and
Yeah,
shout them
good.
some things and give them some cash and that. I'm a bit tired at the moment, so I can't give them everything. But yeah, it's good. But most of these kids are here, so I catch up with them here sometimes. And like his two youngest girls, they're down in Wollongong with their mother, so sometimes we're on FaceTime with them. But like mum and dad are already on FaceTime with them. But yeah, eventually they'll hopefully they come out sometime soon. Catch up with them, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes I talk to them.
We talked a little bit about Karen McAvoy and the jockey. One of the biggest jockeys that have played a vital role for you to help you where you are today. Are there any jockeys that you also lean on or are really good with their time with you out in the bush and that and provincials?
You sort of like older boys, like Cody Nestor and them type of senior riders. You sort of they come along and help. They want you to do the best and they want you to ride safe. Because at the end of the day, I know it's all about money and we all want money, but it's competitive. But at the end of the day, we all got to go home to our families and we all got to be safe. So, but yeah, in them ways they help us with our styles and how to ride a race and all these other little things. Just these little 1%ers just to help you along the way. You know what I mean? But every jockey, every senior jock, they help you out. It doesn't really matter who it is. Like they're there to help apprentices to do better. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah. So a bit of the senior jocks that they help out.
I want to talk a little bit about life again before we finish with the race and stuff. Obviously, you lost Davo, you lost your old pop, your old nana, you're really close to as well, but you also lost your old dad in between.
Yeah,
So you lost three really big, important father figures in your life, and you've always
yeah,
had mum around. Give a
yeah.
plug to some of the other men that have helped you become the man you are as well, brother.
Yeah. Well, I sort of had pretty much because I'm the baby boy out of the family.
Yeah,
Yeah. So my older brothers, from Matthew to Edward to David, like we three of us. I didn't have a father figure, but like they being having older brothers and that along the way. They were just pretty much my father figure. I pretty much just learn off them, and then the rights and wrongs from them. If
yeah,
it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be in the situation I'm in now. Because I want to do everything right for my brothers and my old girl especially, because she's a rock. She holds it down, and yeah, I would say
Yeah.
my older brothers, they're always been there and supportive.
We'll start to wrap up. Tell us some of the biggest names you've been around, and especially when you're in Sydney, And I remember you get to fight with fellas like Joe Moreira and Frankie Dettori,
Yeah,
Or did you meet?
Yeah, I met Frankie Dettori.
Yeah,
I met Frankie Dettori. Yeah, now of the big boys, just Huey Bowman, J Mac, Regan Bayless, all these guys, Sam Clipperton, all these, all the top jocks in Sydney. So it was good. Once you're down there, they all, you ride and work with them, galloping, or you're passing by, you're saying good day pretty much every day, or on fast mornings. So, and then you're doing trials and that with them. Eventually, they start, they're just another ordinary person. You know what I mean? It's another bloke. So they're not all these. You wouldn't think there's all these flash. Once you're working with them every day, yeah, they just all just regular people, to be honest.
What about some of the owners or the trainers? Who were some of the biggest names that you sort of saw, work with? Were there any that you went, wow,
Um,
a bit nervous to go up and talk to, and were a bit of a wow factor? Any of those guys?
No, not really. I did meet big owners in Sydney and that with Les and that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but not really. Not that I know of them.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah. All right. We'll see if we got any questions, but then we'll wrap up. Ron.
Yep.
Obviously, a lot of people from back home have been, plugging you and just telling you to keep going and that they're proud of you. Um, yeah. So I mean, obviously, thanks for your time. What time do you start in the mornings?
Um, oh, average between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the mornings. Usually at
Ah, that's all right.
6 we start at work. Yeah, so to 9:30. So about 3.5 hours on and off horse. But yeah, probably finish work around about 10 something. So it's good.
When
But
you,
yeah, and so
yeah, nice.
I got
So when you
Wildwood
got race
races.
meetings, you have to Walgett, is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, I got Wildwood races. So hopefully the family comes over from Breathe to support and make some cash.
Well, I talk a little bit about that. That's what I was gonna try and get you on when they had the brain meeting. But how was that for you? Obviously, that got called off late. But what was the feeling like when you were there at Bree and you were just about riding
It was
race morning, because everyone was putting all the
oh,
posts up and there would have been so much pressure, eh? But how did you feel personally?
I thought I was the Mac going out there. No, it was good. Good. They all wanted to support, and so yeah, I thank them for doing that. But yeah, it would have been a great day, but unfortunately it got called off. Yeah, the track wasn't suitable to race on. So yeah,
That's
but
something.
just going out there was just everyone like the old Brie Warren are just saying good day, and like every going to the RSL for dinner or just going there, everyone saying good day, and what awesome that you're riding and all this and that, putting money on you and all this and that. It was crazy. It's supportive.
Yeah. So you
Supportive.
haven't ridden that on yet, eh?
No,
You
I've
haven't ridden
never,
there yet, eh?
never ridden there.
Yeah.
Never, ever. That was my day. I was that close, and now got this. I'm back home. Hopefully, ride some winners in front of the family and friends. Because it doesn't want me to ride out there. It just don't. I think if I don't book rides out there next year, I bet that they'll race. I guarantee it. It's just a sin.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's just a sin to me going out there. Last year I was booked to go out there too, and we had this bloody rain. This rain come and just
yeah.
called it off. I was like, they don't. It does. The gods don't want me out here, so I won't come out here. I don't think. But
No, Is that something that'll be, top of the list as well, to ride in front of all the mob from out there?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's
Yeah.
one of the goals, is go back home and run. I don't care what horses I'm on, if I'm running dead last, just to see the family, catch up with the family, because I don't really, I'm going to races, going to do my job, and I don't really see family, or family doesn't come down and, go to the races. But I know they're always watching, but it's a totally different feeling when they're at the races, like seeing them and that. It's pretty hectic.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, what does it look like for you in the next couple of weeks, Ron? Where can we follow you?
So I'm going to Walga, but that's a non-tab Saturday. So I've got a full book of rides there, but it's not close, not far from home, so they can come over if they want to have a good day out. They probably have something on that night, so it'll be a good turnout. And yeah, the next day I've got Canamble, so you can have a look on Tab or Sports Bet, whatever I'm riding. I've got a couple of nice rides on Sunday, so hopefully kick home a couple of winners for the boss and the other connections. It's a good day Sunday anyways. Looking forward to Sunday because got some nice chances.
You rode some peaches in the last couple of months, Ron. Is there a favourite ride of your own? Do you look at some of the tape and go, that was a good one,
Ooh,
Because you've had some peaches. That is it cherry blue or something?
I will say Cherry Blue at Canada. I think
That was
Canada
a good.
it
That was
was
when you stuck to
I
the
was
rail all the way, eh?
I was sitting back second last. Wasn't going anywhere. Sitting back, come out last, sitting back second last, and then I just on the rails just all the way, and I was clicking him up coming to the turn, and then they all fanned off, and I just come up the running rail, just snuck up the running rail, and then I had to wait for another because one was still stuck on the running rail when I was coming up to her. But she fanned off. When she fanned off, they had plenty of room. I just straight up it, and then got the win.
Yeah.
Got the chocolate. So it was good. But he's at this. He's probably one of them up there. But the other day, I think Dubbo. I did really like Starling. I rode a filly for the boss, Starling. I thought it was a really nice ride. That just got on the back of a good rider. He coached me into it, and then popped off him, got the middle of the track, and then led home. So that was probably my recent one.
I think I got you on the one after.
The mediator.
You're the mediator, but then I followed you up again on not a bad idea. Tried to load up.
Terrible ride.
Bit off more
nice
than I could chew.
Can't ride them all.
What are some of the
Can't
better
ride 'em
horses
all
that you? Yeah, you're doing a good job, brother. But what are some of the horses that you feel are some of your better chances in the next couple of weeks? Some of the good ones you've been on?
I've got a nice ride for Cody Morgan, the Tamworth trainer. I think it's race 4 or something like that at Canamble. Cody Morgan. I got a few for the boss. Real good chances. Little mare I won on at Wellington Bay. She goes good. She's a good chance. I'm looking forward to Sunday because I've got some nice rides for the boss, and and it's his own. It pretty much he comes from Canamble. All his family and that come from Canamble, so it'd be good just to knock home a few winners where he comes from, and keep putting our team on the map.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Well, I'm proud of you, Ron. Where you come from as well, brother, and you've had some ups and downs in this short little while, but you're coming out on the other side now, and you're starting to find your way, and it's so good to see you too, brother.
100%.
I'm sure I'm saying what a lot of other people are thinking too. You're making everyone so proud, um, and you're putting a little town on the map because they always refer to you as a little boy from Bree too. So you're putting the town on the map. What I want to leave you with, Ron, is I want to ask you what you reckon Davo and Uncle Ted would say about some of the great things you've been doing recently.
Oh,
Before we let you go.
they wouldn't be saying too much about me. They'd be still, I don't know, talking a bit of crap about me, I reckon. But yeah, I reckon they'd be proud. Um, they'd be proud. They just probably want me to keep doing what I'm doing, just go out there and get it. Yeah, just leave it as that. But I know they're watching over me all the time, and yeah, hopefully they keep watching over me because I'm doing good and doing great for them. So yeah, it's a good thing. But I want to, before I do get off this, I want to share my love back home to Bree. My old to all my trapping family. Just want to share my love and send it back out to Bree. Wishing you so much. Hopefully, he's get through this tough time.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Thank you, and all the best for the future, Ron. And we'll definitely see you around, eh?
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Bella.
All right, Ronnie Simpson there, Black Magic. Obviously doing some great things out in the bush. Just a great story, all-round story as well, Ron. Like moved away young. Yeah, done it tough, but live life as well. Back home, like you said, back and forwards from Bree to Dubbo, and just finding his feet and finding that connection again. So to see where he is now and how well he's been riding. For anyone that hasn't watched him, tune in and watch some of his recent rides if you can as well. And they've been pearlers. So I think on the up and up for Ron, and we wish him all the best. And we say thank you again, and we appreciate Ron for coming on and giving up a bit of his time, knowing how busy he is. So thanks again, Ron, and thank you to all you guys for watching again tonight. We really appreciate it. Next week we're going to have Beck Young. Beck Young's going to have a yarn about the state of origin for the women's, and we're going to see if we can try and get a Queensland grade on as well next week to talk about the men's game as well. So we'll see you guys next week, but stay tuned. We'll roll out some of the promo for it as well. But again, appreciate it. Your support. And yeah, for Ron as well, like to all the mob back home. Obviously, we lost our grandmother. That's what Ron was talking about. 94, and I mean, it's bittersweet because she was 94 years old, so she had a good innings, but she suffered as well. So I know a lot of the family feel the same way, that it's hard that she's not there anymore, and we're not going to be able to see her physically and touch her and different things. But we also know that she's free of all that pain as well. She's had dementia for the last 10 or 12 years. So her quality of life hasn't been the same, and it's hard to see that. Anyone who's suffered or seen a family member suffer from dementia, it's really hard, to go up there when they don't even know you and different things. So it's heartbreaking. But what I would say is, and I say to a lot of kids working in schools, take time to spend time with them old people and have the yarns, because once they're gone, them yarns are gone forever too. So, don't take life for granted, because once they're gone, like the old saying says, a dictionary, they're more or less, it's a dictionary that goes with them, all that knowledge is gone with them as well. So, yeah, make sure you take time to spend time with them old people, because when they're gone, it's a forever thing. So, we will be out there, and we'll see all the mob out that way next week. So look forward to seeing you all. And again, thank you for watching, and all the best to Ron at Walgett and Canamble on the weekend and into the future. All right. Thanks again, guys. Thank you.